2008 really kind of rocked my world in a huge way, not only in the economics of just watching everything you worked for. Clearly, I did not, and a lot of other people did not know as much as we thought we knew about how things work, because it didn't seem possible to have that much carnage come out of everywhere. And so I got lucky in a way, because all of that then kind of painted the picture to hear about Bitcoin. I love technology. I'd always do technology on the side. I think the things that just really caught my attention immediately was you could mine it. There was this open, anybody can run it. You could earn it. In between, there's only two parties that are in a transaction. It settles immediately and there's no censorship. I was just blown away and started getting into the mining, and immediately started kind of getting down the rabbit hole. Is this real? So it became the thing that just started to consume my mind. It just wouldn't go away. And it was like those eureka moments where your just brain is exploding with all this, what does this mean? And how cool would this be if this could be real? And what would this do for freedom and for finance and for libertarians and for the economics and for all those things that start to percolate? And I just could never get rid of that bug. And so I kind of started doing meetups and trying to find people. And so I became an evangelist. I started doing the Bitcoin Jesus thing, where I would be pushing the narrative as much as I could, and started doing meetups. Had the first meetups and hosted those at businesses I was running, and 10 people would show up and we would just geek out for hours. And it starts to be just a small group of people that would have pizza and hang out and talk, and everybody was weird for their own reasons, but it was super interesting all the time, and everybody kind of had some notion of the same ideas. Like, it was reinforcing, and then you could watch the space, you could see things evolve. And I really wanted to do something there, and I thought it would be in payments, because at this time there was no scaling issues, there was no fork wars, there was free, instant, you can download this immediately. And then I knew very well with transactions just how many steps are in a transaction to close, and how much you don't really, as the business owner, get the benefit. You're getting taken advantage of. Bitcoin's going to change the world, but it'll be through a currency. And I advocated for that until it started to become very clear that everybody would spend and immediately buy, and everybody would hold, and that was the thing. And nobody really wanted to let go of it. And then the IRS said you had to pay taxes and the scaling wars, and I thought, okay, well, you can buy and sell, but nobody wants to do that. And you can spend, but we're probably a long ways away. 2026, I think, is very exciting. We had obviously an interesting year, 2025. It was also exciting, but it's been, I think, this war around if the cycles are still in existence or not. And I think it's definitely got quite a bit to rebound. There's a ton of companies that are just now getting to the point where they can really do what they set out to do in 2026. There's so much innovation happening around digital credit, digital insurance, a lot of ways of rethinking banking and lending, that these core pillars of what have to continue to grow are continuing to grow. Bitcoin makes an excellent pairing of the opposite side of AI, where much of what you need is just facting and citing truth, and Bitcoin is the truth machine. And so I think there's so much potential that doesn't really get talked about that much, because it's almost like it sounds too buzzwordy. Right? It sounds too buzzwordy, but I do think that is obvious, that a digital intelligence and digital currency go together, a digital money, and there's already evidence of that.